Hey, what's up? Hey, Batman. The road to $2,200. World Senior, Sicily, 2022. Hopefully we get to 22. Hopefully we get to $2,200 before my rating goes down. The dollars and the rating points are going to collide at some point. It's just a question of when. I'm hoping that the World Senior this October will allow me to regain the precious rating points I lost 2 weeks ago. Maybe even a little bit more. We're treading water rating wise, the low 23-30 range. But dollars, our dollar rating is only 1150, so that's. What's up? Hey, it's Miro. I just can't stop calling you that. I like that. It just kind of rolls off the tongue. Whereas like Miro BTW, it's just. It's just not easy to say. Alright. So we're taking 7 plus 5 challenges. Not much is rolling off the tongue today. 7 plus 5 casual challenges on the road to $2,200. Silence. All right. Where's those challenges, by the way? Oh, there they are. They're on my other page. Hey. Hey. Pleasing master. All right. Analysis board. I just gotta add a game to the study for tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is our subscriber analysis stream for serious chess players only. Okay, I've got challenges here. Uh-oh. Zen Chess. Someone's not a subscriber. Zen Chess is a subscriber. Okay. We need a chair fund. Wednesday is weird unusual openings. Thanks for reminding me of that. Thank you for reminding me of that. My screen is stuck because I've got the wrong board. God damn it. Alright, I'll fix it. Maybe it's gonna fix it on its own. I guess I'll have to manually fix it. That's not what I wanted. Alright, properties. Let's see if this works. There we go. Alright, we should be good now. E3, C5. This is not the Sicilian defense, in chess. You're playing the English. I just wanted to let you know. For your information, you are playing the English. Weird and wonderful world of openings. Okay, like B3 is not that weird. I'm actually transposing to a B3, I guess. If I really wanted to be weird, I could have played like D3. There's certain like questions and comments that I won't dignify with an answer. Very often tend to be uttered by certain parties. God damn it, G6 is probably a good move. Doesn't b3 make the rook defenseless? Not exactly. This is a good defender right here. He's got it covered. So basically Zen chess is playing the black side of in English. Alright. Well, I mean, I'm just playing black with the white pieces, basically. I mean, I could play the what's it called? The Larsen bird with f4. Bird Larsen. The Larsen bird. b3 is very popular due to a number of strong players who have been playing it lately. In the last 10 years, seems like it's really caught on. I know that Adiban did like a Chessable course about it. That probably added to its popularity. I mean, it's kind of like a inclusive, all-inclusive opening for white, more or less. That's the benefit, the virtue of it, really. Man, I had some weird dreams last night. Can't quite place it right now. I'll see if I can remember something from it. Oh, I dreamt this weird ghost appeared and gave me these really valuable collectible things, and then I ended up losing them, worth millions and millions of dollars. Definitely some meaning there. Dream interpretation we do here for a little bit of fun. Alright, d6. Now it's g3 or bishop e2. Our primary moves. You know, by the way, just FYI, I think one of the better ways to play against b3 is c5 and d6. If you try to do d6 here, I can play d4, I guess. So this move order with e3 isn't quite the same as b3. Or b3 and knight f3 is very common too. It's very, very common to play knight f3, c5, b3, for example. And then black has a strong line with d6. The fact that I haven't played knight f3 gives me more options, thus the f-pawn. I mean, main line here would be black playing d5, and Zen chess is playing the white side of Bird Larsen Dutch defense, whatever you call it. What he's doing is fine too. White has no advantage per se, but I think it's a question of if you're comfortable with what kind of position you have. You wouldn't understand Repunj. This is not surprising to me, dude. This is probably the only way that that guy would ever beat Kramnik in a game. Yeah, don't bring up this kind of trash. Alright. Oh, I thought it was Monday morning. Oh well. It's Wednesday morning. It feels like Monday morning. So that's just going for the queen exchange and bishops. So we've got an ending. It's equal. I mean, maybe black has a pretty good presence in the center and my queen side. This is always the problem. This is always the problem with Queen's Indian type of setups. My bad knight. Too many issues with the knight coming to b4. But I didn't necessarily have to play c3 right away. I could have just played, could have, should have, would have, probably played knight a3 there. It would have been more flexible. Honestly, it may not make a difference in the long run. I just keep thinking about Konstantin Chernyshov, this grandmaster from the country we shall not name, that he used to play this Bird Larson style stuff. Very Nimzovician. So ghosts signify past relationships and the priceless are memories of them that you can no longer spark, for there is no one of shared memories to spark them. I couldn't really place the ghost who gave me the valuable items. One was like a priceless autographed baseball or something like that. But in the dream it didn't look like a baseball. It was weird. Dreams are so hard to describe. Yeah, Zenchus opting to play very solidly today. Optical mouse. Think Konstantin Chernyshov. Alright. Constantine the Emperor. Yeah, Zenchus, it's not fair. You're not allowed to play so solidly. Is it true that solid is another word for boring? Well, with me, not necessarily. I don't view them as exactly the same. I think boring is more insulting. I mean, I don't mean to say boring when I say solid. Maybe some people do. I respect solid. Especially from people who tend to play too aggressively, hey, it's Miro, and then like shift styles. Maybe they're tending to be more solid when they had been very loose before. It's like an improvement. Then just, well, he's a relatively correct player. I mean, but he can be very aggressive and tend to play too fast. Seems like he's playing carefully today. The other day, last night, he just played like carelessly and lost very quickly with a really bad move in the opening. So maybe now he's trying to compensate. But no, not necessarily. I would say that's my answer. The vortex. The pawn vortex. There's like peaks and valleys in my pawn structure. But it's strange that I would have more time than him. You know, the word for me that's really kind of subversive is interesting. I called myself a long time ago developing a habit of telling people that, you know, moves are interesting Instead of wanting to hurt them and just tell them that it's bad, I have a tendency to say interesting. It doesn't mean that every time I say interesting, I literally think something is bad, but I admit that I do have a tendency to do that. So synonyms, boring and solid and interesting and bad. No, not the same. Vacuum. Have you seen my vacuum anywhere? Has anybody seen my vacuum? Damn. There goes the rooks. That's like the oldest trick in the book. Like, I bet the first Neanderthals who played chess, there were some among them who would get out their vacuums and just start hoovering the board. Man, it's hard to say white has an advantage here, to be honest. And yes, my games are always boring. What can I do? Man, yesterday I had all these like closed. I'm sitting there thinking like, oh man, I hate my opponents, but am I the one who's like secretly causing all the games to be like extremely closed? Frankly, I don't even like playing really closed positions, unless I have tons of time. That knight on a3 is really not a happy camper. Darn. I don't know, man. It's possible that black is even better here. That's kind of going too far, but I guess sometimes you have to sit there and be like, alright, I can't do anything, but you need to put yourself in your opponent's shoes and pretty much like come to the same conclusion. Yeah, g5 is a great move. Just because I can't do anything doesn't mean he can do anything. We probably both can't do anything. Imagine if he took on f4, my knight would actually have a square to go to. That's not a bad place to start, huh? Look at this king position I could get here, potentially. King on g3. But I can see how anybody, I could be totally empathetic to people who thought this game was boring. I think it was semi-boring too, and trading all the major pieces off didn't help, but dude, what can I do? I played the birds opening. I mean, here's the thing, okay, that I think we need to really strive for, and I tried a little bit here, but not enough. What we need to do if we want to win is to consciously think about the level of imbalance in positions, If you want to win and you want to have less draws and play, more dynamic chess, I think the secret is to start to consciously like play for imbalance, for what it's worth. Subtle game. Are we going to go for it? Risky. This is what we're talking about. Now that's imbalancing. Possibly bad. But honestly, like, difficult to say, right? That's what I tend to try to do. I was wondering what you were trying to do. It's good that we finally clarified that. Man, imagine if my knight could actually get to a good square for once in its life. That's... I told you guys. Uh-oh. No, that's the Queen's Indian problem piece. Knight on b1. Can't go to c3 without blocking the bishop. d2 is not always available. a3 is on the side of the board. We went with a3. Wow. So, I'm wondering what's going on here. We got a level of imbalance now. Mizentius took a risk by pushing his pawn to g4. Ends up being it ends up being a liability rather than a strength. What the heck is going on here? d5. It doesn't change anything. He's dropping his f5 pawn. By the way, he had knight b5 before, but alright. Now what? d4. For risky. My f5 pawn dropping. Oh, I get it. Okay. Things that make you go, Well, we're better. Pawn up. Uppity. I really ought to be pushing my kingside pawns here. But I guess the h-pawn's not going anywhere momentarily. He opted for defense rather than aggression. Those naughty knights. Oh no. Oh no. He's undermining my pawn. What an epic game. See, this wasn't boring now. Oh wow. 6 viewers, 8. When I turned off my stream yesterday, I had a zillion viewers. Even like 20 minutes after I stopped. Okay, not literally a zillion. There are some technical problems here, it would appear. Is it definitely hopeless for black? f6 check. Oh, f6 check and f7. Oh man, that doesn't look good. Alright. Like, what happened here? How did that happen? He was like so solid. Basically g4 like was the turning point. Computer didn't even give you a question mark for g4. But I mean, if you play g takes h4, you know, like, you really can't lose because the pawns are kind of more compact. Even though the computer seems to think that g4 was okay, I think that's a major thing. You can never lose if you don't play g4 there. I mean, you can, but only if, like, Daniel Naroditsky is flagging you at rook versus rook. That's the scummiest thing that anybody can do in any time control, and you should never do it. And if anyone mentions it again in my stream, they get insta-banned. You don't do that at any time control against anybody. This is a total scumbag maneuver. Ever. You know, even if it's normal in like 1 minute chess, you don't do it in blitz. I don't care if it's like 3-0. You just don't do it. When it comes down to rook against rook, you offer a draw to the other player and accept if they offer one. Daniel Naroditsky is a scumbag if he did that against Kramnik. It's the only way he'd ever beat Kramnik anyway. So I guess he figured he'd try it. But that's really like, I would never respect anyone who ever did that. It wasn't him. Well, that's not surprising. It's like Repunch like usually like produces fake news here. Oh man, this is a problem variation. What if I play knight f6? How bad is it? What type of Sicilian do you recommend for 2000? Well, I mean, I think 2000 is fine for playing, you know, complex openings. I think there really are several good options, and they're different, you know. The e6 Sicilians are truly solid, but it's more stylistic than anything else. I mean, the problem with the Najdorf is that it's so theoretical. So I would recommend like the e6 Sicilians probably off the top of my head, some kind of like relatively solid version of e6 Sicilians, like Spidler, Kamsky, like those guys would play. All right, now I'm not remembering, of course, if we played this before. I would stay away from the Sveshnikov and the Najdorf because people who are rated 2000 don't need to be like worrying about memorizing 20 moves of theory. By the way, I'm going to Sicily, and I grew up in New Jersey, which is like basically the same thing, southern New Jersey. And so what I'm wondering is, we always called it Sicilian pizza if it's like the kind of square, thick pizza. No, Dragon is not good. I mean, it's playable, but I wouldn't recommend it. If you're asking for a recommendation, then I would say no. Accelerated Dragon is okay. It's a completely different opening. You can play Accelerated Dragon, but not normal Dragon. What am I doing here? I like that. Check. Sicilian pizza, yo. Sicilian opening, not good. No, Sicilian opening. We need to invent the Sicilian opening. No, so I'm curious to go to Sicily and see if like that's just a misnomer, or if really like the square thick pizza is truly Sicilian pizza. I mean, I'm gonna guess it's not made up, you know, but it feels like I'm transposing to the bad variation with e6. I'm asking for it. How bad is bad? I believe I'm supposed to play knight to d4. I forgot. Yeah, I screwed up. I'm supposed to play knight to d4. I lost to Miles like this once in a banter game on World Chess Network, but He took on c6, and I took with the d pawn or something horrible. So here we go. 94, is it too late for knight to d4? Good question. That's a good question you got there. Is it too late? I think it's too late. It looks too late. Yeah. But I do have issues. 95. Triple exclam. That looks like something Acerbate would play. My options here are getting more and more limited. Thickness and shape. I'm not like in the direction of this. Thickness and shape of the game, I mean. Thickness and shape of the pizza. Exactly. It's a good thing Bob isn't here. Is e5 really a good move? Are you sure? He might have let me off the hook. He's whatever his name is. And I was supposed to play weird openings today and I didn't. You tricked me. God damn it. I'm just like I'm basically a blonde airhead. I mean, I just can't remember what I was doing 5 minutes ago. I mean, it's ridiculous. I create an arena tournament. I can't remember that there's no increment. Like 5 minutes ago, I realized I get distracted so easily. Maybe I have ADD. Can you like develop ADD as an adult? All right, it's not ADD. It might be dementia. Accelerated Dragon is a good opening for 2000s. E6 Sicilians. The thing about the E6 Sicilian is that it's a good Sicilian against any level, or for any level. Like, I can recommend the E6 variations of the Sicilian like to beginners and to grandmasters. You know, I think that it's universally good at every level. Accelerated Dragon, you basically start sucking when you're like IM level or GM level. You'd probably be better off playing something else. I feel like it's okay, but not the best. But I wouldn't recommend the Dragon. Najdorf and Sveshnikov are probably the best, but they require an incredible amount of theoretical knowledge. I feel like I'm playing against Blobix now. Yasmiro turned it into a B3 Sicilian. Last time I played Blobix, I lost in a position similar to this one. It seemed pretty solid, and all of a sudden everything went downhill. White has a big weakness on D4, but the rest of his, setup, his coordination is good. Yeah, the classical Sicilian is another one. Yeah, I would say it's kind of like the Najdorf and the Sveshnikov in terms of complexity, but it's not as good. That's the problem. Okay. Yeah, I really need this motorcycle. Idiot. So G4 is Psycho. That's what he does. Stuff like that. I'm just going to ignore you and hope you go away. I guess I just have to play an intuition at this point. Yeah, G4 is well. I mean, the problem with G4 is that it's really just not aggressive and risky enough, I think. You really need to play something more risky and aggressive than G4. Oh my god, just he insta H4'd me. That's the plan. I'm really sick of being in a pin here, I have to tell you. That pin is... I'm done with that, you know, right now. I am so done with that pin. So you do what you want to do, but I'm out of there. There's no significant weakening of White's king side. Any tips? Oh my god. I'm not the one to talk about tips for improving speed. I will say only that recently I was reading someone's thoughts and they were talking about this, and I think there's some validity to seriously, like, trying to play the opening quickly. Something I'm not so good at yet, but I have a tendency to use too much time in the opening. Oh, you don't say. You're kidding, right? Bishop d3. I never would have expected that. That's the whole reason why I didn't play a6. I mean, I knew you were going to play something like bishop d3. Of course. Wow. So what happens on rook d8? You've got a double bishop sacrifice? Double bishop sacrifice. He's going to play like queen h5. This isn't absolutely necessary. Yeah, but I mean, your question with OTB skills and stuff is like too general. I mean, I have no idea what to suggest, but in terms of, see, the problem is that over the board chess is becoming faster thanks to the influence of wonderful people like Magnus Carlsen and the wonderful world of online chess streamers who play bullet chess and crap. They're trying to make chess faster and faster, which I hate, but we have to deal with it. So, like, now it's legal to have a 60-minute game count as a slow classical game in FIDE rules. I don't agree with this, but it is what it is, you know. So, wow, bishop e4. God damn it, you had that move. So much for I could have and should have sacked the exchange there. God damn, dude, that is annoying. The shelf. How do you feel about the shelf? Shelf elf. I'm gonna risk like him taking on c6. That's the least of my problems. Aaron Nimzovich. He is not, but he's doing kind of good imitation. So I think like we need to play faster in openings, more so than used to be the case. Quite the calculation, expert. Bishop d2 or bishop c1. Sorry. Ah, okay. Queen h4. King g2. And my queen is trapped? Unbelievable. I'm not buying this. But it looks like it's true. You're sick person. I sound like Donald Trump when I say that. Alright. I mean, it sounds like something he would say. He's sick. It's a sick country we live in. They're trying to persecute me. Damn, dude. I love the way he's playing. Like, it's a psycho Nimzovich. Now he's like torn between opening the H file and playing H6. You can't have both. Only one or the other. If Hayesmere could have both, open the H file and play H6, he would do that. I can't understand how he's so goddamn fast, you know? Given his ratings. Okay, his blitz rating started to go up. Finally. Blitz and Rapid 2100. You know, objectively, I'm really solid here. I think everything is under control. But on the other hand, like, how do I make progress? Okay, it's the... You know, the structure is from... basically the pawn structure. The pawn structure is from the Budapest Gambit, more or less. It's amazing how secure his king is. The way he played with Bishop E4, he's a genius, dude. I mean, speed is remarkable. What do? You play like 2-0 all the time? It's like too exaggerated, though. You know, you're playing like it's 1 minute. Why are you playing that fast? It's crazy. It's a 7+5 time control. It's not even 3 second increment. It's 5. He's just playing way too fast. Oh no. Oh no. Take, king over, king up, king up. Is that a draw? No, can't be. It can't be, right? Could be. I can't believe it if I screwed this up. How far apart am I? I'm not gonna make it in time. I'm gonna make it in time. If the pawn was like, what are you doing? It's lost anyway. Phew, that was close. I should have been a little more careful there. I really didn't calculate it deeply enough before I went into this king and pawning game. I was winning, but I was lucky I was winning because I wasn't careful about calculating it. Always remember to get your sonar out and see what's in the dark alley before you go back in there, you know. If there's time, I mean, F6 question mark. How the hell else would I make progress here? Are they serious? What am I supposed to do? Like push my A pawn or something? Rook A4, King G3, A6. Okay, well that does what exactly? Rook A4, King G3, A6. And how does that change the situation? That's weird. It's just hard to see how Rook A4, King G3, A6 would make my ending better, but it doesn't seem to do anything. You know, I don't get this. Like here, here, here. Oh, okay. Well, that really did a lot. What exactly does that do? It's something about Rook E4, maybe. I mean, for example, why does he have to go King G3? Why the hell wouldn't he play King F3? Why King G3? Hey, I just want to give black an extra option of going Rook E4. What's that about? That seems stupid, dude. It wants to play Rook A3 check. Well, that's called repeating position. A5 I can understand, but we're still not making progress. Oh, Astrobate. Thank you. World Senior Sicilian Pizza Fund up to $11.50. We're going for 2,200. My rating is going down, and it's going to meet my fundraiser at 2,200. Damn, I mean, dude, you played a great game. You're obviously slightly better. I thought at some point the computer didn't agree. You're obviously slightly better, but you weren't. Yeah, I mean, you kind of let me off the hook there. I think I should be in deep shit, right? But E5's not your best move. Sundberg Hansen lost with white against Ulf Anderson. That's hard to do, man. Major upset. 200-point upset. But I think e5 is a mistake. Tarlev played what? Bishop d6 and let him like smash his pawn structure. Yeah, I mean, I don't really love that, to be honest. And black went on to lose. I would prefer to play what I played here. You know, bishop d7 is a better move, man. And black is pretty solid. Tarlev made a huge mistake with bishop d6. That was a bad misjudgment about that position. Alright, learning chess. Yeah, I was lucky there. My move order was not good, and you let me off the hook. Okay, weird openings Wednesday. Please, I'll just do the opposite of whatever I'm thinking. Please play knight c3. Please play knight c3. Oh, God. Thank you, Aspay, for that gift subscription. Do I recommend Yubava London? Only if you know, have a job that's 80 hours a week that doesn't allow for you to think for yourself. I think the Yubava London and other stuff along those lines stymies creativity. But again, if you have nothing, you know, if you don't have time to study openings at all or something, I guess it would be a good idea. c4. What happens on night before again? This is a thing? We're having fun now. Yeah, you probably could have just played d4 or something. Exactly. Yeah, of course. That's what I'm saying. I'm lucky. Because I was being stupid, and I'm just kind of feeling out these knight f6 lines of the Ross Limo as an experiment, looking for an alternative to the crap that I used to play, which is too predictable. Now, the point of this was, again, I don't remember the point. Do you guys remember the point here? Well, I guess I have to play e6 now. Like something Acerbot would do. It's no problem. d6 is not recommended since it loses a piece. I'm defending my knight on b4. Don't try this at home. And no, it's not recommended for players who are rated 2000, or anybody for that matter. I'm just experimenting. It looks good for white. This is very good for white. Learning chess is sus. Extremely sus account. It's like a troll account or something. This hangs a piece. Jesus Christ. It hangs a piece, right? d6, check, knight c6. Well, there's more complications here because of stuff like b5, actually. I'm not sure it does hang a piece. Let's see, d6, queen a4 check, knight c6. d5, b5. Some weird moves here. I have a weird idea. Queen h4. That's not sound. What was my plan? Just to go back unprovoked? Wait a minute. Am I on the current position? My plan was to go back unprovoked. I guess. Oh my god, Fred is here. This is a dubious experiment. I forgot my opponent was like Grandmaster. Why do we get this guy Learning Chess? Learning Chess, are you even a subscriber? Haven't you been gifted? He's a member of the Gifted and Talented group. He plays like a master in the opening and then miraculously loses every game. Something very suspicious about Learning Chess. I'm sure that it's a Smurf account. I suspect that it's like Repunj, but I'm not sure. Yeah, Shaki was on Rage Tilt yesterday. He was kind of getting... I was raging about somebody called me toxic at poker. No one ever calls me toxic. Miro thinks it doesn't. He doesn't think it's Repunj. They just seem to be on around the same time. I guess it's a time... It's a... Actually not, though, because Learning Chess is on in the evening. You know, thinking about it logically, if Learning Chess were, like, from India, he probably wouldn't be in the tournament stream, necessarily. Last night. Repunch doesn't come for the night stream so much. Usually the Indian players will be able to, like, start my tournaments, but not necessarily stay for the whole thing. Because it's so late there. This is like maybe not losing by force, but it's not good. Maybe Learning Chess is just like multiple people or something. It feels like you get a different game sometimes where he's really weak. And then the other games he always plays the opening perfectly. He has tells. Ah, bishop takes d6. Yes, it is possible. Yeah, my position is pretty damn dubious. Maybe this isn't the greatest move either, but it's playable. Barely. My knight doesn't have a good retreat square. It's lucky that d5 doesn't win a piece. I didn't want to play d5 and allow c5 myself, though. Okay. I told the story how this Russian woman I played last year played this all the time in her games, and after like spending 2 hours trying to think of a way to how to best play against her, I finally concluded it was better to just play d4 d4. So the point was like I couldn't refute this e6 Alyakin. It can't really be like refuted outright. This isn't exactly what I'm talking about. Like he played c4. This is a normal Alyakin. I'm just messing around with knight b4. I should play knight b6 here, of course. Knight b4 is not a serious move. It's an idea that I'm borrowing from the Kiel variation of the Scandinavian. Living on borrowed time. Hold on a second, d5 now. I think it works. Yeah, we're in business. Just barely. Positional chess. So I still don't have a term for this. Does Fred have a term for that, Uber driver? I don't have a term. I'm not talking about IQP. Like if he pushes, what do you call the pawn on d4? It's not a backward pawn. It's not isolated. It's not a hanging pawn. I don't know a terminology for that pawn, but it needs one because it's a very distinctive kind of It's a very distinctive kind of structure where the pawn is kind of weakness, but not that easy to attack. Yeah, b3. Let's play like a grandmaster. Okay. A standard for this guy to play like perfect moves, as always. How often do you fiend kettle your queen's bishop in the Aliakin's defense? Knight d7 drops a pawn. It's a sacrifice. What happened to the bullet guy? He's supposed to be a bullet player. 20,000 games. Someone's watching. Sometimes you get tells about who people are by, like, they'll have a friend who's like watching their game or something. They can give away their identity. This is Adewoliyosh, which sounds like a combination of African and Indian names. Okay. He's a Nigerian from India. His first name sounds African, his second name sounds Indian. Bishop b7. But I'm wondering about the identity of learning chess. If he has some viewers who are like from India, then we get a tell. What about bishop a6? Productive. It's a productive move. It's provocative. I was just having fun with this opening, you know. The night before was trash. But it's been played. I mean, I've seen people play it like in Blitz and looked at it in the Opening Explorer a tiny bit once. If I could trade bishops, that's good for me. I can attempt to play against hanging pawns. Now we're talking about hanging pawns. Those are hanging pawns, which aren't good or bad. They're just hanging pawns. What about knight d7? Now we have a problem again. So I might need to play knight a5, which isn't necessarily a bad move, but I'm not sure about it. Knight d7 doesn't work though, so we're going to need a move of some kind. And my bishop's defended, so I could just recapture on d5, you know, if he takes on d5. I could take on e2 or just recapture. The purpose of my move, not only to put pressure on the hanging pawns, the, well, potential hanging pawns, PHP. Aspirate, have you had any PHP today? PHP. It sounds like a pool cleaner or something. PCP. Wow. Oh my god. That's a dramatic development. Now we're playing the Aliakin defense. Okay. There's talk about imbalance, right? Now we've got imbalance. Goodness. TP, toilet protocol. Everybody knows what that stands for. Whoa. Knight takes. I expected rook takes. Well, that's certainly... we're certainly seeing a diverse sort of pawn structure now. Earlier I was talking about imbalance. I mean, that's pretty imbalanced. But I think we want to embrace the imbalance as a stronger player. Let's just call it, as the higher rated player in a contest, we want to embrace imbalance. Of course, style comes into it. Some players are really technical and they never want imbalance and they're just good at playing technical chess. If you're Schieberspieler, my friend, FIDE Master Margot Roland, I mean, he's such a good technical player. It doesn't matter if he's playing someone weak or good. He's going to play his technical game no matter what. You know, but I think from a player who's like me, who's basically less easy to define stylistically, I'm gonna prefer to play more dynamic positions against weaker players. The more cards, the more chance you're gonna win their money. Tob karcha, tob eshe, is what my friend says. Five card Omaha has higher variance than Hold'em. So if you're playing a weak player in poker, you're better off playing with more cards in the player's hand. More ways to go wrong, basically. It's more complicated. You want the game to be more complicated. The stronger player is going to do better in the complex situation. Sometimes I make it too simple. Like yesterday, the game I lost in the last round of our tournament. I mean, to be fair, he did play a very computer-like game, but then if you are devil's advocate, there's an argument that I didn't make the position complicated enough, and that's what Albert Bokrosh talked about with me a couple years ago. He felt that I had a tendency to make the games too straightforward, and maybe he's right, though not always, you know. Not always. But White's play, see how good he is? I mean, this is a great game for someone who's 1800. You're killing me, dude. You're killing me. Like, literally. Brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant play by White. This tension that White's maintaining here is incredible. I don't want to pin myself. I was really a little bit worried about rook takes d4 and the rook lifting in that position. But again, we see a player who's basically a little too good for his rating, I would say, pretty consistently. Someone's grilling meat. Did somebody mention pawn structure? How important pawn structure really is? Did you guys mention that already? Uh-oh. Juggler. He's a juggler. A bishop juggler. Alright. How's that game? Pretty dubious. How's your juggling coming along? So white was better until move 28. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, so let's see the opening explorer. I mean, what kind of an idiot would play this move anyway? Clearly, you know, no strong player in their right mind would ever play knight to b4. Who, it's surprising to me that Krogius was 2575. He wrote a really good book on chess psychology, though. In those days, in 1971, 2575 was heavy duty. That would be like 2700. That's like 2700 today. 2575 in 1971. That's got to be like top 20 in the world, at least. Bronstein was 2590. But David was going too far, you know. I don't remember if I've ever seen this game. I knew about this game or not. I don't think that I ever recall Bronstein ever showing this anywhere. So David played d6 here, but how does that work? Seriously? Okay, what am I missing? Queen check? Knight c6. Oh, it's one of those d5 things, right? d5 things, so we can do this. But I don't understand, actually. What am I doing after queen takes? I can do like knight c2 check. Okay, I should have thought this through a little bit further. So it turns out that maybe d6 is okay. We'll see. Maybe not. Krogius was afraid to play queen or check. Okay, I don't blame him. Oh, it's bishop f5. Oh my god. I thought it would be b5. It's not b5. See, there's this variation. Takes knight d4. The problem is white has knight a3 there. I mean, black may not lose a piece, but I don't think his position is good. Looks like he is losing a piece, actually. But maybe Bronstein intended to play bishop f5. This isn't good either. Needless to say, why can't white just take here? Can. And this is just totally unsound. So, I improved on Bronstein with e6. Alright, whatever. It's not good. I'm not going to do that again. I'm not going to do that again. I thought knight c3 was a good move too. I failed to see I could play this again. Oh my god. What? Wow. I have never seen a tactic like this. Takes on b4, takes on e5. I'm not even like compensated enough here. Yeah, that's a good move. Queen b7. I'm just sacking a piece. This is really coffee house. I mean, it's okay for blitz or something, but you can't play this stuff in an over-the-board game. But I mean, the reason why I play this is because I have played quite a few games in the Kiel variation with c4 knight b4. I mean, this is a little bit more playable, but the themes are almost the same. You can see there's actual players who have played this, though most of the games are probably correspondence. It's not that bad. It's not good, but it's like almost playable for black. So where are our challenges? Hello. We're going for 2200. World Senior Sicily 2023 October. We have 40 days to go, and we're at 1150. We need to get the rating up to 2200. Do I hear a donation? Ka-ching. Def Poll has followed. Astrobate has gifted a sub. Rotating Gator Chip has followed. Come on, let's get some challenges. What do I have to do? 7 plus 5. Del full 4. What do I have to do to get some challenges? I mean, that was a fun game. Who doesn't want to do that? Now, that wasn't boring, right? You can re-challenge. You can. I can go to the bathroom. I need to go to the bathroom. Do you? Oh, we lost 3 viewers in like 1 second there. By the way, just curious here. How bad did my position get at its worst? My worst was move. My worst was move 5, where I'm minus 2.3. So what is he supposed to do? He's supposed to play f4. Okay, f4 or bishop e3. Apparently, knight f3 is just too routine. And your bishop takes d6 suggestion from the peanut gallery was better according to the engine. I mean, you know, you can play d5 here. I mean, to be honest, I think this is what white should do. There's this ongoing battle between, you know, white and black. Anytime we're talking about an Alekhine type position, or I think also you see it in the c3 Sicilians. We've got the knight on c6. Roman would definitely do this. He had a line in the Alekhine that he used to like to play that involved playing an early d5 where black would get fixed with a pawn like this. Yeah, this doesn't look great for me. This is a pretty bad position. This is really ambitious. You could play knight d4. But knight takes e5, d takes e5. Queen h5. Okay, that's interesting. Anyway, alright. Hispiro is challenging again. I'm gonna go in Zen mode. He can't. Now he can't see me. Ninja style. Ninja style Zen mode. What do I got here for you? Something interesting. Yeah, exactly. This is a theme, man. Is that weird enough for you? I'm playing the hippo. D6, 97. It's getting there. I like this for black. I would play this a tempo down. I could play a6 here and have a reasonable position. I just gotta clear my thoughts. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. There's a couple different ways to play this. Probably more than a couple, but I mean, c5 has to be our main move. Knight f5 is definitely playable. And the other interesting move is b6. If you want to be really weird. Do you want to be really weird? No. It's dangerous to be too weird. Fianchetto stream. Get? Fianchetto stream? What fianchetto? Exactly do you refer to? I don't see any sticking fianchetto. You don't say. This is like hyper Petrosian Armenian variation of the French. Hyper Petrosian. Bishop a6. There is the possibility of a5, you know. There's some reason I should or shouldn't play a5. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem ideal. I think I can do this. I am not gonna justify a4 with a reactionary response. Disarmament. Huggy the bear. Alright. Would you like a hug? Give me a hug. Everybody likes a hug. This is like wrestling. Actually, h5 is probably too early. Perhaps I should have played c5 first. There's no need to play h5. It's not like he's threatening anything. I just don't really want him spazzing out with like knight f5, g4. Because he does have a predisposition to randomly play g4 all the time. Whereas other players you might think, oh well, they're not going to do that. This guy, he doesn't have that much self-control. Let's just say that self-control is not his strong point. It's not my strong point either, but not as bad as you. I'm thinking of taking like mood stabilizers. I'm so noticing this sort of inconsistent, overconfident, not confident enough, flip-flopping mentality in my evaluation of games, and I just want to sit there like Mr. Spock and be objective. But it's hard, you know? Yeah, that's the problem, man. I should have played c5. Now, it's not the end of the world, you know? I can play... I'm not going to play queen c8. It's not the end of the world. I learned this from Shaki. Yeah, Uber Driver stopped by. He was joking about Shaki's knight g1, knight f3, knight g1, knight f3, knight g1. I mean, I don't know. That seems like you're on tilt. I mean, everybody's done that at some point just to troll the opponent, but wow. Okay. That's one way of stopping c5. Well, you're not really stopping it, are you? Maybe we should rephrase the question. Discouraging it. You're discouraging it. He's discouraging c5. Or attempting to discourage c5. I'd like to see a classical match between Vasily Smyslov and Hayes Miro. Can we bring back, you know, souls from the dead? I always want to do that for the Halloween stream. I want to have, one day I really want to do it, I want to have like a, I want to have a seance stream. That's Asri's favorite holiday, surprisingly. Very surprisingly. Where I'll use my psychic powers. We have some tarot cards somewhere lying around. Asri can bring his Ouija board. Halloween costume party. Now, what's your plan there? It's like playing g5 with white and the king's Indian. Everything must go, Sale. And I'm back. Juicebox Wizard is back. Let's talk about gardening. Asri is Mr. Moriarty. It's not possible that white has overextended his position here, is it? Ah, knight a3. Well, that's a specific, very specific thing. I wonder if a6 was wrong. I kind of like c6, but there's a problem, isn't there? Is there? Take, take. Wait, why don't I take? So many choices, so little time, as they say. I mean, I could take the knight, and honestly, I mean, okay, I can't castle. I don't give a bleep if I can't castle. You'll have a ghost bishop. Alright, my knight is a problem. My knight is a problem. The knight is an issue here. This is not cool. Knight, not cool. My knight has to get off of b8. As Mark Dvoretsky said, the rule of the worst piece. If you don't know what to do, improve your worst piece. If you can't identify your worst piece in this position, you might as well hang it up, you know. My rook on h8 and my bishop on f8 are like star players compared to this knight on b8. This has no future at the moment. I don't know what to do. Decisions. Juicebox Wizard. Well, welcome. Massive levels of machismo. Dress up like what? Moriarty? Morphe. Dude. Take cake. Morphe and Moriarty. Hey, what's up, 22, 23 viewers? You guys are pushing for the World Senior. We're pushing the fundraising up to 2,200. Now here's an interesting position. I thought about maybe taking with the knight naturally. But I mean, there is queen takes and knight d7. Knight d7 defends b6, but it sucks. It pretty much sucks for the knight itself. My knight's best path is knight a5. Best path to nowhere. The road to nowhere. This is exactly what my stream title is. How's my b6 pawn doing? My knight's good, my b6 pawn's not good. b6 pawn, and he's got this beautiful pawn on d4 now. It's like a wing gambit. Oh, he's... Alright, I'm going to take off the Zen mode. I was just fooling around, but... What? Where's the current position? Damn it, come on, dude. Why is it being such a... problem? Wait, what? Are you threatening me? You're gonna castle? That's illegal. I had the better pawn structure, better bishop. Do I really have the better pawn structure, though? I think that's open to debate. Yeah, I shouldn't pronounce that, really. I don't think it's necessarily true. The black has a better pawn structure here. There's the a4 pawn. Let's play an incredibly slow move. Wow. Oh man, he totally tricked me. I did not anticipate knight c2. That was a tough move to see. I mean, his knight had so many other squares to go to. Every single game I have some kind of crazy close position. I guess I think I have issues. I think I'm like torn psychologically. I'm starting to like my position better and better, actually. Vasily Smyslov. Wasily. I'm a natural-born French player. I've literally played the French like 4 games in my life. I won a couple I won against a couple weak players. Watch the king side. Now the original plan may have to change here. Boys and girls, what are we doing? That was not what I expected. Absolutely not. It's got me on time again. Oh no. I hung a pawn. Not that clear. Wow. Freeze for the camera. Get out your vacuums. Here we go again. This looks like a game similar to that game I had yesterday. You would have taken his bishop and assumed that your bishop was stronger. Assume nothing. Easy game. Well, you may be right, but there's a lot going on there in addition to the dynamic that you're talking about. Race. Off to the races. Uh-oh. That's not what I had in mind. Good bishop, bad bishop. Sladgie, what's a good bishop and what's a bad bishop? Oof. I don't know if I can just shove this pawn. That's not a good move, dude. That's like the worst move. Maybe it didn't matter. Stalemate. Wow, what a game. Another epic game. G Mantro challenging me. Let's see who's played this. Freeze Nielsen. That's not a surprise. Okay, so there's a lot of games by Freeze Nielsen and a bunch of other people. Andras Mizaros. Don't even mention that name. I lost that guy the last 2 times I played him. It was a nightmare. Wow, an almost perfect game by Sladge. Almost. So Emil played f4. Yeah, Emil's a really old friend of mine. I'm not sure. We transposed to a French. Oh wow, Chichak played your a4. This is back in '95. The exact same game. Yeah, his move is better. He's a big fan of Queen e2. There's no need to play c3, I guess, right away. Queen e2 is probably better. But it's not a big difference, objectively. Alright. A good game. The Mantre. Who's this Mantre? 1800. That's better than 1400. I hate when I get demolished by people who are 1400. That's the worst. So today's Weird Wednesday. We're playing unusual openings. I got time for like 2 more games. That's it. Last 2 games. D5 takes the fun out of it. Now it's fun again. Fun again. Man array. Then I told you about Man Ray. Man Ray was this like club in Cambridge in Central Square. It was an alternative club. Let's just put it that way. Lots of people who are into like really weird stuff. But basically a music club, I guess. Alright, so E4 is the best move as far as I know. Where's Nedog? Good old Central Square. Central Square, Cambridge. You're not in Harvard Square anymore. Kiddies. Okay. The explosive power of Bishop E2 is not to be trifled with. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Bishop G4, but it's probably not bad, I guess. I thought he might try something more interesting there. Like Queen F6 or something. Here I go with the interesting thing again. Yeah, Bishop C4, but why? I mean, I'm like basically refuting Bishop G4 by playing Bishop E2. It's his good bishop, and he doesn't want to trade it. And so, like, Bishop E2 completely neutralizes his entire position. Bishop C4 is like playing for some sort of cheapo that probably wouldn't even happen. Yeah, it's possible, but then I'd have to worry about this pin all the time. Basically, I have a really good Philidor. The idea is, with this opening, is to get kind of like an enhanced Philidor, where A3 may be better than the traditional sort of C3. Yeah, I mean, 97 is okay. Equalizing, or not. Maybe this is a mistake. He should have gone back. He should have gone back. It's a bad move. He would have left my knight really asking itself if it believed in God. Do you believe in God, knight? Maybe not, though. I mean, it's okay. It's complicated. It's not so simple. If he goes back, I can do stuff like C4. It's not so simple. I don't know, learning chess. You're thinking too generally. Who's passive here, white or black? I mean, let's do the Sladgie square. My Sladgie square, and this is his Sladgie square. Who's passive now? Majorly. Or not at all. That's the other possibility. It's actually true, Asper. You think 2 different ways. I'm laughing at my own jokes. Don't you hate that when people do that? Why is my screen blurry? Like it's out of focus. Bigly. You think bigly. And you think Asprey thinks bigly. Mr. Coffee's here. Oh man, that's a good move. If he played Bishop C7, he's like might be lost already. This is a good call. I mean, it doesn't solve all of his problems, but it was a good judgment. It is a good judgment, I think. If we play by juicebox theory, we take on d6 here. No substitute for good old-fashioned calculation, but yeah, I'm not that in love with taking his bad bishop. But the alternatives aren't so great. Knight e3, knight takes e4. It's kind of a bummer. And what's my point now? Rook d1, queen e6. Something like rook d1, queen e6, a4. The possibility of c4 right away. Rook d1, c4. I really want to play c4, but why? How about a4? a4. Another sensible move is knight f3. But if I play knight f3, he has a5. Then bishop b2. Yeah, I think it's a mistake to play knight f3. There is the psycho f4, but it doesn't work, does it? No. Alright. I'm not exactly sure what I should do here. Attacking e5. Wait. I don't know. It's complicated. He's 2391 in rapid. 20. Okay, that doesn't make sense, bro. It's a new account, too. Why would your rapid rating be so much higher than your blitz? You just don't play rapid and blitz, but still. That's weird. Allowing knight f5. Okay, I'm just like a little better here. Knight f5 is much more double-edged. Safer to play this way. If I were black, I mean, it shows creativity, but f takes is pretty risky. If your knight was on h5, f3, bishop b3, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of possibilities, of course. You got stuck. Oh, you lost the starting games at blitz. Okay, it's not important. It's just like, yeah, obviously with bullet 2250, you're like you got to be at least 2200 in blitz. F4 doesn't work. It almost works. Almost doesn't cut it. C4. C4 maybe. I don't want to have a backward pawn, and this puts some pressure on his position. Though the position is pretty static now, not completely. There's more questions than answers. There's a lot of stuff that didn't happen in this position that could have happened. The earlier position, like 4 moves ago, was really interesting, and I wish I had more time. I think white was better. Now it's closer to equal. I mean, objectively white is better, but not that much better. That it's like black is lost or something. Yeah, a6 is solid. So the question is, can I do anything? Well, there's always a4. I don't know. And white has like a sort of microscopic advantage. Bishop versus knight is generally an advantage, but the situation has to be right. You don't have symmetrical pawn structure and all the pawns on one side of the board. And that doesn't fit this description. f4 is attacking knight. I mean, the problem if I do f4, he takes it, and if I play e5, he pins me to my queen, and I can't win a piece. If my queen was protected, f4 would be a really, really interesting idea. As it stands, he just like takes and plays queen e6, and I just like compromise my whole pawn structure. There were ways I could have played for f4, but it was a lot riskier than most of the plans available to me. Of course, this is a major idea. I wanted to play it. I would need another move like rook ae1 and f4. By the way, there's bishop a3 here, so that's why that's important. Hey, it's Miro, by the way. Rook d1. Yeah, it's interesting. Rook a6. It's a funky move. I don't know. Did I underestimate this move? Unclear. Maybe. Why can't I play rook d1? Well, you can. You can. But it might not be so good. Wow. But he must be like a tactical genius or something. Guess the weight. Wow. Yeah, I missed that possibility altogether. Seems like white's still microscopically better. But it's not enough to win again. Probably not enough to win, but if I'm a grandmaster, I should have the technique to beat some people from this position. But well, I mean, the good news is that I'm notoriously bad at rook endings, not double rook and bishop versus double rook and knight endings. The bad news is He's got a rook on the 7th. Just trying to buy some time here. Can I buy a Val? I mean, objectively, I'm not winning, but I ought to have a way to try. But I have to be careful. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna just agree to a draw. Because I'm low on time. I don't think it's a win, but I don't know how to make progress. You know, if I push e5, my pawn is weak. I was much, much better, but not enough to win. This should be a draw. Even if he loses his c-pawn, it's not easy. I want to play one more game and I gotta go, guys. Computer's gonna say white is better. But you see, like, objectively, it's not anything serious. Look. It's plus 0.2 for white. So a draw is a perfectly reasonable result. I personally think he played more like a 1400 FIDE than an 1800, but, you know, that's the typical online, the online ratings I get here. Schumacher, I'm going to take your challenge since you are a subscriber. I only played for fun. I don't know if they're a subscriber. They always seem to show up right at the end of my stream. Yeah, e5 is nothing. e5 is nothing. In fact, it even like activates his knight. Very dangerous. Like he could have a winning position in 2 moves. Juicebox Wizard. You could lose in 2 moves. I mean, e5, knight d5, knight d3, and black is better. I have only time for one more game. You have some time here. Oh, you have some time here. Wait, is that you? Theodoros, you only play for fun, is that you? And you're a subscriber? Okay. Alright, we'll play you first then. I'm sorry. I thought that you weren't a subscriber. I forgot. Schumacher would be next. Nice try, Schumacher, to cut in line. I was planning on only playing 1 game. Luckily, today, I can let it go. I can let it go till 2. Schumacher challenged me. Come back. I'm sorry. Don't be so sensitive. Let's play the Sicilian. No, we have to, well, okay, but we have to play something fun and unusual if we do play the Sicilian. I have to play something fun. C3 Sicilian or Smith-Morra. Come on. Play the Smith-Morra. What if I play alternative rock. F5. Oh, okay, that's good. F5, of course. Could play A6, I guess. A6. Well, I like D6. I mean, I know a friend of mine plays this a lot. Smythe Moron. Don't need that. Knight C3 now. Okay, now we're not talking about the Benoni proper any longer. Now we're talking about something else altogether. Franco Rinaldi. Pawn takes pawn, knight takes. Is that really good for white, though? Well, I don't have to take either. Of course, this variation is somewhat dubioso for black. But like most things spatial related, it's not easy for white. In my experience, it's not that easy for white. It's easy for white to even like overextend himself and end up with problems. And that's how my friend who plays this ends up winning games. But you have to be pretty well familiar with black's plans, and I'm not. 92 seems like a normal move. I have probably tried that. Probably. Probably. Not like we have that many options here. So what's the plan? Knight d7, knight c4. I really don't know. We're gonna find out. I mean, obviously rook e8 and bishop f8 is pretty standard. I'm not in a hurry to play a6. I figured white will just play a4 anyway. You know, we may benefit by not weakening ourselves. The only player who really famously played this was Larson. But I would say, like most players, I only play for fun. It's kind of mysterious, but most players don't have a clue how to handle this type of system from white's perspective. He's playing really one of the more classical sort of setups, I would say. It's hard to know that without some experience or studying. But I have played this way myself with white, and I realized the, let's say, I'm aware of the limitations of it as well. KG and Sladgie. So what happened? I beat this player before. I don't remember our games too well. They're pretty recent though. I mean, it's hard to do anything with that knight on e3 in my experience from white's perspective. It gets in the way. I've had this problem when I was white. I've had it in the Benko too, in the Benko decline where my knight's on e3, but if your bishop's out on f4, it's better. Yeah, now we're fully Benonifying. This is doubly defended. Doubly defended. Benoni Republic. Knight A8, triplex clear. White has this one major concept of knight a5 to stick the knight on c6. So that's something that I've got to really not allow unless I have a huge justification of some kind. He's playing like Yefim Geller. And Yefim Geller versus Larson. Bishop on f4, perfect coordination. Jesus Christ, dude. Now what do I do? b5, knight a5. I can absorb it. It's exorbitant. I think your play is kind of exorbitant. What about b5, knight a5, b4? Where does your other knight go? It doesn't look like you have too many options. But knight c6 is really annoying. I mean, it's just like, what am I going to do about that? On the plus side, the knight is out on the side. Okay, do I have an alternative here to b5? There's always an alternative, right? It's hard for white to do anything at the same time. Hayesmir would play g4 on the next move. There's always g4. Queen c7? I mean, it would be funny, like queen c7 into the pin. Could better absorb. Bishop g5 after queen c7. I don't know, this is interesting. I have no time. Offer draw. Dude, that's a less than riveting position. T streets. Seriously? It's not that bad. It's Jesus Christ. This is a dynamic position. It's not like the pieces are just thrown all over the board, man. I'm sorry, but you just... Are you serious? This is very complex. You just don't appreciate the subtleties. Pawn structure imbalance. He's got this pawn on d5. The other two back there. His d5 pawn can fall. He could play knight a5, knight c6. The game could become very imbalanced after that. Man, I mean, comparing this to like some of the games I've played lately, it's way more interesting. Okay, this is the key. This is like critical to drive his knight away from the center. I mean, I wouldn't have done this if I don't have this move. But my question is, what happens next? Knight c6 forks my queen and rook, so I have to take it or sack the exchange. So that's really where we're at now. Deciding what to do. I might be able to surround the pawn on d5. Surround sound. Now with surround sound, he has to think about, you know, b1 or e2. a2 looks bad, and that's it. You know, two options. a2 is a horrible square. No, a2 drops a knight. Sorry, so it was only 2 options. But here I have rook a8. I'm winning a piece. I'm not winning a piece, but close enough. Man, this is a miracle. God damn it, he has knight b7. Oh. I'm not winning a piece, I'm losing a queen. That's like my game with Shockey that time. Rook b8, knight b7. Surprise! Rook takes a1. Knight takes d8. Rook takes d8. Yeah, damn. What about bishop b5 first? Bishop b5 first. It can't hurt, right? Well, it could hurt. He could just play knight c6. That's interesting as well. Maybe I move my queen. Do you really want to let that knight come in there? Yeah, I shouldn't have done this. This is a mistake, too. I should have just played something simple like queen c7, I guess. I think this is a mistake. I mean, objectively, why can't I play queen b6 again? Knight c6, queen b6. Or knight c6, queen c7. Why did I reject that? I don't remember. These tiny flies or mosquitoes, it just went under my computer. It just crawled under my computer. What is that? Queen b6, queen c7, knight takes b8, bishop takes f1. That's fine. But I mean, do I really want to do this? I could also just simply take. Maybe objectively that's safer. But how am I going to play after that? I'll play queen c7. Good thing a7 is covered. Challenge, easy. Easy mode. Last game, guys. Mr. Coffee, good to see you. We'll see you tomorrow night. Thursday night subscriber stream, game analysis, 6:30 p.m. CEST. This was a complex game. But I feel I misplayed it. Rook a7 would be a good move. I actually hallucinated that was a thing for a second when I first made my move again. Yeah, it's easy to forget the sleeper knight on c8. The knight on c8 is like a miracle worker. I mean, it's a really key Benoni idea that a lot of people aren't aware of. Yeah. Okay, here. I mean, the point is I'm taking. But queen c7 was the move I probably should have played in the first place instead of bishop b5. I wasted time. Draw him away. And surround the target. You had that. Oh my god, 10 seconds. But he's basically like 2600. How did I beat him like 2 other games? Whoa. Played like positional genius. Maybe it's still not enough. He has compensation for the pawn. There's no question. Nice bishop you got there. Or should I say bishops? Had. Yeah, this was dodgy. I like my pawn structure. Oh no. Now what am I going to do? Improvise. Improvisation only. What are you talking? What does that remind me of? Nice move. I think the mosquito bug got me. The mosquito bug. Vast improvement. Bit my arm, eh? Not so easy. It's not so easy. Damn. You can do that? Check. All right, good game. Thanks everybody for tuning in. All right, guys, we'll be back tomorrow night. Good games. I'll see you Thursday night for a subscriber stream. Thanks, Mr. Coffee. Thanks all. Bye. Bye.